All right, so on this edition of the Fran Harris Show, I wanted to talk with not only a client, but also a friend and someone whose journey I've had the privilege of watching over the last 3 years. Someone that when I met them, actually had a meal with them, asking what they wanted to do. They said, I want to cook for people. I was put here to cook for people, to feed people. And it's 3 years later, and now she's finally doing it. Finally doing it. Louisa Garrett, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's exciting to be talking to you about this topic.
Yes.
How long has the journey really been for you, and what's it been like?
The journey has been, years. I went to culinary school in 2006. And so that was 7 years ago. And I haven't done nothing with my culinary degree since I received it. So the real journey began when I met you. Because, like you just said, you asked me what I wanted to do, and I told you. And then from time to time, you say, so, why are you not cooking for people? And I'd come up with some lame excuse of why I wasn't doing it. And you wouldn't believe me. But I was still telling myself these same excuses. I was believing it. And then there came a point where I didn't believe it anymore. And I decided that it was time to actually do something about it.
And what did you do?
I started a business called Lou's Gourmet Grub and Goodies.
No, I mean, it didn't just go from us talking about it, and then occasionally I ask you about it. What was it like? Give me the timeline, if you can, of how it evolved.
Okay, so we met 3 years ago, and from there, we went to Vegas for a basketball tournament, and I would cook meals for the girls. And you then again asked me, why aren't you cooking for people? Why aren't you doing this? You were baffled as to why I wasn't doing this. And I mean, even though you mentioned it months prior to us going to Vegas, I didn't really think about it. You know, I said what I said. I want to cook for people, and that was just talk. It wasn't really, I didn't mean anything at that point. And so when you mentioned it again in Vegas, it started thinking. That was in July of 2010. And still didn't do anything about it action-wise, but started to think about it. Why am I not doing this? And it had to do with more of me being scared, me being not ready, me being, are people really going to like this? Even though people liked my food.
Telling you that they did.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I cooked for people. They're like, oh, this is awesome, amazing, blah, blah, blah. But something inside of me didn't believe them. And I didn't want to put myself out there on a bigger spectrum to just be told, oh, no, you're not good enough. And it was more of me believing, was I good enough to actually do this?
Yeah.
And it took 3 years before I decided,
And how long have you been cooking? Because when I met you, you were cooking already. So how long have you been cooking, even before culinary school?
Since I was 9. Yeah, so my cooking, you make eggs when you're little. But I would cook full meals, full dinners when I was 9 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
And how were people responding then?
Even then, they were like, wow, Lulu made that? They call me Lulu. You made that? You cooked that? Yeah. And I, watch cooking shows. I've been watching cooking shows since, I was 7 or 8. And watch the shows and then go in there and figure out how to make it. So I've been doing that since 9, so almost 30 years.
All right, so let's rewind and let's talk about that 4-letter word that people hate talking about.
What word is she going to say? I don't know.
That 4-letter word, fear.
Fear.
Yes. If you even say the word to people, they go, I'm not afraid. I ain't scared. I mean, what you talking about? So let's talk about the fear that you had from having the affirmation from people who said, hey, it's good. Or when you cooked for us that summer, that was the summer after I first met you. And I was like, wow. I was like, this is really good. So tell me again, why aren't you doing this? Where did that fear come from?
That's
the $1 million question.
$1 million question. I don't know the answer to that right now. But I mean, it was definitely there, and it was definitely there, and it was definitely real for me of being just fearful of being successful, I guess. Even though, people told me it was good. I knew it was good. That part of it I knew, but I think I was just scared to be successful. And as weird as that sounds, but now.
Well, then when you're successful, I mean, for me as a basketball player, I think to some degree I was afraid of success because it means I got to keep doing it. It means
Right.
the expectations are there.
Yes.
Dang, if I do this now, I'm going to have to keep doing this. And how much better do I have to get at this?
Yeah.
It's a lot of work that I got to do with this. So that maybe...
right.
Yeah, so
That's
it's
a
a
good
part
point.
of the expectations now that you
Right.
announced yourself.
Yes. Here I am. I can cook, guys, and now everybody wants me to cook at that level all the time.
All the time.
And it becomes when you make something bad, because everything I make is not great. When you make something bad, it's like, you know,
We knew she wasn't that
we
good.
knew, right?
Yeah.
And I think I was scared of that.
Yeah.
Coming.
So you took some baby steps. Let's go back because now you're full-fledged into your business. But you took some baby steps. There were some reality shows along the way. There were some competitions.
Yes.
Right? So you started to do those kinds of things. What were those things
I
that you
did.
were doing?
So in September of 2010, I went to a cooking contest at the American Airlines Center. Not sure what was what. It was basically a Iron Chef type deal where you have a mystery basket. You open it up, you see what's in the basket, and then you have to create a meal out of it. My plating wasn't very good back then. Everything on my plate was brown.
You had a fall plate.
I had a fall plate or, I don't know, dead grass. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But everything on the plate it tasted good, but my plating wasn't good. And so that was the first, hey, wake up, you really need to step up your game type of a deal. Didn't make it to the next round. And then after that, I tried out for a couple cooking shows. Next Food Network Star, some other ones, can't think of them right now, but tried out for those, never made it to the second round, but I never stopped. Like, I kept going, and I think if I had done that previously to meeting you, that I probably would have been like, okay, tried out for that, I'm done.
Right, yeah.
It's it.
Yeah, because we would talk about, I would send you notices. I was like, hey, here's a casting for this show. And for me, who's done television, it's like, this is what you do. This is what I do. You go, you try out for shows. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't.
Right.
But for somebody, and you're listening out there, you're thinking, I don't want to get knocked down. Mm-hmm. So there had to be an element of that for you. Was there any trepidation when you first started doing that?
Definitely, because it was like, again, fearful of
the rejection
of not being good enough, of okay, but what if I do make it? And then it's the fear of, okay, you're going to be on TV and people are going to be watching you. So I had fear on at both ends. First, am I going to get rejected? That's going to suck. Okay, once I get onto TV, if I really screw up, now the whole nation sees it. So right now it's just me and my little cocoon.
Right.
But being on TV would have been, it was very nervous for me. And so I think I was putting out that energy too.
Yeah.
Possibly why I did not make it to the next round.
And we talked about that. I
Yes,
said, so along the journey, I said, okay, so you tried out, but if you still have this belief back there somewhere that you're not good enough, trust me, that's going to come into the audition process, and you're not going to be able to be your best. So were you able to overcome that?
I don't know if overcome it as in right now or during the auditions.
Now.
Yeah, because I don't think I overcame it during the auditions.
Right.
I was putting on a front saying, oh, I got this, which I didn't have it. And then when you always call afterwards, how'd it go? Oh, yeah, I didn't make it to the next round, blah, blah, blah. And then you'd say, what do you think happened? And my answer was always, I don't know.
Yes, it was. That's
and
right.
then you'd say, well, you're never going to get to the next level. And you said it just like that. You're never going to get to the next level if you don't know what the problem is. And I'm on the phone like, what the hell does she mean by that? I don't know what happened. But
I didn't make it. You're like, well, I don't know. Let me get back with you on that. And I'm like, no. Let us discuss. Thou.
Right.
Thinketh right now. So you start to work through some of those issues, and it's hard to be out front.
Yeah.
It's hard to be out front. It really is, and it's hard to taper how much you're going to be affected by the rejection that is inevitable for all of us.
Right.
Right? And you just got to believe so much in your dream and what you want to do that the rejection takes a back seat. It never goes away.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't feel good when I don't get a show.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good when, something doesn't go well for you on your journey. But, it's factored into the equation. It's all part of it.
Yeah, you have to go through it to get to the next level. And I was at a point when we first met, I told you I was stuck, and you were like, I don't know what that means. What do you mean by that? I was like, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. You're like, well, unstick yourself. Okay. I don't know how to unstick myself, but okay. Just unstick yourself. I don't know what that means. So I was, quote unquote, stuck for so long that was my reality. And that was just saying stuff. People would ask me questions, and it was just verbal diarrhea. Just natural excuses.
Yeah. So we go through some reality shows. We go through all of that. And then what happens is, I'll never forget this day. It was New Year's Eve, 2012. And I text you a memo. Didn't I? And I said,
yeah,
I just want to understand something. I really do. And I was talking just like that. I just want to understand something about you, because I'm baffled. And I think I was verbatim. I said, I'm baffled by how well you cook, and yet you refuse to do anything with it. Can you help me understand that? And then I just clicked stop and sent you the memo, didn't I?
Yes. And you, well, also in that, you're like, and why don't you just ask me for help? Because I can do that.
Yeah. I go.
And so I don't understand.
I don't understand why you would have somebody like me in your life and not ask for help. I said that, I go, and not get the coaching that you need to do what you need to do. I don't get it. Then you sent me this, what? Long-winded memo.
Long-winded. It was like 5 minutes long. I am going to do it. I don't know when, but I am definitely going to do it. I do want your help. I think I was talking just like that. I don't know why. I'm scared. Blah, 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 blah. And we went back and forth like 4 or 5 different memos. And then, like I said, that was New Year's Eve.
That was New Year's Eve.
And then 2 weeks later, I was like,
I'm going to do it.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
3 weeks. It was 3 weeks later.
Yeah. So now we can fast forward. Your first week that you announced to yourself, what was the process like of you announcing to the world that you were in business? What did you do?
Well, this happened prior to New Year's Eve, because I do CrossFit now, and we had a CrossFit Christmas Eve party. And I brought the famous cookies to the party. And people were like, oh, these cookies are great. You know, just like you say when you eat the cookies. These cookies are great, blah, blah, blah. Is this what you do? I mean, they didn't even think twice to ask me if I was a baker or if I was in the food industry because of how the cookies tasted. And I said, no, but this is what I want to do. And that was it. And then after that, 5 days later, I got your voice memo. And so, my new friends of CrossFit, they would say, oh yeah, Lou wants to cook, this, that, and the other. And every day they would say, oh, have you started your cooking business yet? What's going on? And then I have you in the background, same thing. And I'm like, okay, well, I got it, people. And it was like 10 different people every single day. When are you going to start it? I'd like for you to cook for me. What's going on? What's going on? And then finally, the owner of the CrossFit box said, I will buy your food, but I just need to know when you're going to start. She said, why am I paying these people when I can pay you?
Right.
And I said, okay. She said, no, really, I need to eat. So when you tell me you're ready, I'm ready to buy food. And the very next day I said, okay, let's do it. And so it took from your memo to really 3.5 weeks later of me saying, okay, let's go.
And now you are doing it. How many clients do you have? And that's less than 90 days. How many clients do you have?
Less than 90 days, 14.
What?
Yeah. 14 clients. Some order every week. Some do the full week. Some do 2 or 3 days a week. And then others just order here and there.
Okay.
So, but consistent weekly clients that they order every single week, there's 8 of them.
So you've gone from zero,
nothing,
making money. You were just cooking for fun. That's what I call it.
Cooking
for fun. Cooking because you love it.
Would you like to eat some of this?
Right.
Cooking for friends. Cooking for family.
To an average monthly income of about what?
Average monthly, I'd say $1,600.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so how has that changed your lifestyle? Your life, how you feel, just how you feel about yourself?
It's drastically, because there's always, again, that fear of, are they really going to like it? Mm-hmm. And even when Brandy, who was my official first paying customer, said, "This is great." You know, I was still thinking, "Oh, she's kind of my friend."
Right.
You know, she's supposed to say that. And it was still, I wasn't still fully confident in the business. And then when other people joined in and everybody was raving about it, I said, hey, maybe I have something going on here. And so dramatically, my whole mindset has changed. I'm now thinking, you know, I need to make money. You know, we have a deal going on. I'm like, okay, I don't care. Let's make some money. How are we going to cook this? That's great. And I did have one client say she was too picky to eat the food, because how it works, how my plan works, is that there's pre-planned meals. You basically cook what I eat. You don't get a choice right now because I'm a one-woman show. When I get bigger and have a actual restaurant, that'll be different. But right now, it's pre-planned meals for the week. You eat what I cook, and then, you know, we'll go from there. And so this one lady said, you know, I'm too picky. This is not going to work out for me. But that's 1 out of 20. Mm-hmm. And before that, I would have been devastated for someone to say they really didn't like my food. I understand why don't you like it? Everybody else likes it. What's the problem? But it was she sent me a text. I sent her a text back. Sorry, it didn't work out. Maybe we can hook up again in the future. And I was done with her. I got 15 other clients to worry about.
Right.
And so confidence is through the roof. Knowing what I want to do, even though I said I wanted to do it back in the day, I don't think I really wanted to do it back then. But knowing that, yes, it's exactly what I want to do and going for it, that's what I'm doing right now. And I have another job, and, you know, it's kind of secondary to... my main job is secondary to the business. And hopefully, after I build up some money, some net, that I will be able to just focus on the business and not have to worry about working in the other job.
So one of the things that Lou alluded to was a deal that we have. One of the things that most of you who followed me for a while know, that I am an investor. I bring other people to investors. I invest in companies or people. Sometimes it's not money. Sometimes it's my time and my resources to help them get to the next level. Well, for Lou, I know how popular and what a multi-gazillion-dollar industry food is. I know a lot of people in the food industry. I know people who own McDonald's franchises, Burger King franchise. I mean, just endless contacts in the food industry. I don't cook. I just eat. So when I'm good at it. And when people have come to me and said, hey, you know, what do you have going on? When my people in the food industry would come and say that, you know, I would say, oh, I know some people who do this, whatever. But when Lou started to take her business seriously, I didn't tell her that I was thinking of introducing her to McDonald's. And that is McDonald's as in McDonald's. Just in case y'all were wondering, y'all talking about McDonald's over by your daddy's house, or you talking about a McDonald's? So,
right.
So I knew there were a couple of people who came into my life over the last 6 months in the food industry. Like Lou, they cook, they have cookies, you know, and I don't like their product as much. So, but the problem with introducing Lou to McDonald's is Lou hadn't worked up your confidence, your business acumen, you know, that I felt like I could count on you to deliver.
Yeah. Definitely.
So, and I even said that to you when we first started talking about McDonald's. I said, I mean, I have another cookie that I could take to McDonald's. They're not as good as yours, but I know they're going to do it, and I know they're going to. So I want you guys to hear that sometimes opportunities don't come to you because you're not ready yet. And sometimes you can miss opportunities because you're not ready, and that's just the way it is for all of us. There are times when I wasn't ready television-wise, got to audition, and you're not there yet.
Yeah.
So now having this deal where we're actually going to do a taste test at McDonald's to put your cookie up against the McDonald's cookie.
I'm smiling right now. I'm so excited about this. So I'm very excited. I mean, the cookie's a bomb. My cookie's a bomb. I have to admit that. But McDonald's has a really good cookie too. So to see where it compares,
the customer will speak.
Yes,
because it's all about customer preference. It isn't about whether their cookie is good. They have another vendor right now, and whether your cookie is better. It's what does their customer like. Right.
And even if they like the cookie that they already have, just to have that data, it's great.
It's great.
Right. And that's something else, because before I would have been like, oh no, they don't like my cookie, and I'd be over crying in the fetal position. Why don't they like my cookie? But now I'm like, hey, that's okay. We got some data. Yeah. You know, this many people liked it. Let's go somewhere else. What else you got?
Yeah.
What else you got?
That's right. Because if it doesn't work at McDonald's, there are a skillion other fast food places. There are a skillion other restaurants.
Right.
So it's data that is duplicatable, and you can take it to places and say, hey, we were talking to McDonald's. You can say that.
Yeah,
you can say
exactly.
that, and that you can leverage that in the marketplace.
Put that on my website. Taste tested at McDonald's.
That's right. Stop by. You can even invite people to come over and see if they can tell the difference in what the cookies are or whatever. So I'm excited for you. I just want to congratulate you officially on your journey and your movement toward the life of the life of your dreams, because I know it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
And I just want to say to anybody out there wondering, wishing, waiting, there's nothing to wait on. I mean, go do it. We all have our journey. You don't just come out of the womb, most of us, ready to take over the world. It takes some things to get there. But I think from listening to Louisa's story, you can appreciate the fact that it's going to nag you. Either the people in your life are going to nag you about it, or something's going to nag you every time you turn on the cooking channel or a Food Network.
You're like, dang, why am I not on there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And even though you did, I sabotage myself a lot. I say this is what I want, and then I go do something to mess it up, so I wouldn't actually get it. Mm-hmm. And I just want to thank you for believing in me, because you pushed me even when I was pushing back. You were still right there saying, whatever. Hello. What are you going to do? Why are you not cooking? And I'd be like, oh, here she goes again. Why is she still talking about this? I think I said that one time. Could you just stop? And then she said, I'll stop, but it's still there. I said, okay, yeah, good point. So I just want to thank you for not stopping and for not giving up on me, and for believing in that I could really do this, because I know that without you, I wouldn't be where I am today.
And what about your vision? What's happening now? You got your 15 clients. What is the plan for the rest of 2013?
To get more clients. The problem is that I have a very small kitchen. So I have, my little containers. I'm doing everything. And so the next step is to find somewhere to go and actually have a bigger space.
Okay. And
hopefully end of summer I'll have that. I'll have enough money saved up, and been looking and see what I can do about that.
Well,
but I want a food truck, I think. I don't think I actually want a
nice
like a building.
Yeah.
I think I want a food truck.
That is a great idea.
Yeah.
Great idea.
So we'll see.
Lou on wheels.
Lou on wheels. So I think that's what the plan is going to be.
All right.
But before that, I may have to get a bigger kitchen, because the clients are coming in so fast, and it's crazy. And I think you told me, you were like, once you decide
that you're going to do
it, and once you decide to, face your fears and to stand up to people and to do what you want to do, floodgates are going to open. And that's exactly what's happened. I've, made some decisions. I've stuck by them, living my life without any regrets or apologies, for that matter.
Yeah.
And it's just happening so fast that hopefully I can stay ahead of it before it goes crazy.
Well, we'll look for that train to start moving up the tracks, and we'll talk to you again when Lou gets on wheels.
Lou's on wheels.
All right. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.